What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RaceNews.com, and welcome back to another one of our previews. Well, let's go to the Alabama Stakes this weekend at Saratoga. Grade 1 event, $600,000. The purse will be ran Saturday, August 17th, race 10 on the card. No Torpedo Anna, so we get a little bit more of a full field. Although it only drew 8. I was a little surprised. I thought we might get double digits, but we've got 8. It's a pretty good race. All right, let's get to it. Number 1, Intricate, is where we'll start off. She's been disappointing this year. I don't think you can really argue that fact. After breaking her maiden at Keeneland impressively as a 2-year-old and then winning the Goldenrod as a 2-year-old to end her 2-year-old season, you thought this is going to be a big-time horse. This year, not been great. Well beaten second in the Rachel Alexandra, well beaten 5th in the Fairgrounds Oaks. Went to Churchill Downs, dropped down in class, dropped to the Monomoy Girl Overnight Stakes, lost again by 3/4 of a length, and the last time out, well beaten 3rd in the Coaching Club American Oaks. I think she's a board hitter. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think the distance will be okay, but she's been disappointing. She's got to turn it around here. I don't know, maybe dropping down or getting away from Torpedo Anna, who she faced last time, will help, but she's lost to some other ones that probably, if you're a really good horse, she shouldn't have lost to. Let's go to number 2, Chatalas. This horse coming off of a layoff last time out in the Grade 3 Indiana Oaks, got the job done at 10-1, winning by a head in that spot, and I thought that was a pretty good comeback race, first race of the season for Chatalas. And if you remember, she won the Chandelier last year as a 2-year-old at Santa Anita. Didn't do much, as far as the Breeders' Cup or the Starlet really went after that. They tried the Turf on December 29th, got second, only beaten a neck, and then moved to Indiana, or Horseshoe Indianapolis. Grant Forster was the trainer that day of note and was able to get the job done. Now we're back to Mark Glatt. I don't know what the deal is with the training situation, but listed under Mark Glatt here today, or I should say on Saturday for the Alabama. But yeah, look, I think it was a really positive step to get that win off that kind of layoff. You think the horse should improve again. So she comes in with a chance here. It's just going to depend on, just how classy is she? How much can she raise her game? She's going to have to raise it just a little bit more to get the job done against a tougher field here. But it was a good sign last time out in the Indiana Oaks. Let's go to the number 3, Power Squeeze. This is a horse coming off of a nose victory last time out in the Delaware Park Oaks. That was a race at 1 1/16, and that was kind of a class drop after running against Torpedo Anna, 2 straight races in the Acorn and Kentucky Oaks. Moving back up in class here, but there is no Torpedo Anna. I think this horse is going to need a little bit of pace. That's going to be the big key here. She didn't get a lot in the Delaware Oaks, was still able to get the job done, and she got a little bit in the Acorn. She ran a pretty good 3rd. You have to kind of give her credit there. I thought that was good. I kind of draw a line through the Kentucky Oaks. She didn't do much running there, but if she can get a little pace, kind of like she did when she beat Ways and Means 4 races back now in the Gulfstream Park Oaks, I think she'll be tough. So look out for Power Squeeze. She comes in with a big chance for sure. Number 4 is Just Basking. This is a horse coming off of a 4 3/4, just a dominant effort in the Iowa Oaks last time out at Prairie Meadows. Now, kind of an every other type of horse, 4 races back, second, and then 3 races back, breaks the maiden. You're like, okay, this horse could be good. And then just kind of got 5th, beaten 2 1/4 or 2 1/2 in an allowance race at Churchill before another big effort like we're talking about there in the Iowa Oaks. The stretch out should be good. This horse is by Arrogant out of a Blame mare, so 1 1/4 should be very good for this horse. Well, let's kind of see what happens. What's the class level? Can she put 2 races in a row back to back and really be good? That's kind of the big question mark for Just Basking. So kind of a wild card in this one, kind of I would say still a little bit of an unknown. Yes, she did go win that race up at Prairie Meadows, but this is a whole different ball game today at Saratoga in a Grade 1 race. All right, let's go to number 5, America's Vow. This horse won an allowance last time out right here at this track at 35-1 and was able to win by 3 lengths as well. So 1 1/8 that day. Going to stretch out now to 1 1/4. The 1 1/8 was the longest this horse had ever ran coming into that race last time out at Saratoga, and now to 1 1/4. You'd think it would be just fine. You might note Luis Saez was the rider there. He will not be the rider here in this one, as Junior Alvarado will take over the mount. Luis Saez on a different horse we'll talk about just in a second. I think that's a bad sign. It last out at 35-1. And probably deserved to be every bit of that after finishing 6th, 6th, and 7th. beaten double digits in all three of those last three races before that big win here up at Saratoga. So, but look, if you can run back to that kind of race, we'll be competitive here. It's just the belief of, okay, can she actually do that? All right, let's keep going. Number 6 is Justify, or Miss Justify, I should say. Well, if it was Justify, I think he would be 1-9, but it's Miss Justify in this spot, the number 6 horse. Coming off 2 straight victories, won an allowance at Churchill Downs going a mile, and then came up to Saratoga in the Wilton Stakes and was a winner again at a mile by a length. So now stretching out to a mile and a quarter, but this horse by Justify, so that's good. The dam side is sired by Majestic Perfection, who was a sprinter. So I would say that's why they've been trying these, I guess Saratoga would be a 1.5 turn mile and then a 1 turn mile there at Churchill, and then sprint races before that. Probably, yeah, a little bit of top, obviously with pedigree, but the bottom side, not as much as far as going a route. So the stretch out's going to be interesting. The one thing I do think this horse will do is get out towards the front. I think she will set a pretty good pace, and this could set it up for number 7 as we'll go on, Candied, who's a horse that does come from out of it. So Candied, if you remember, 2 straight wins to start her career as a 2-year-old, including the Darley Alcibiades, and then went to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies and only lost by 3/4 of a length. She got going a little bit late in her 3-year-old season. They kind of, I'm not saying they had to rush her, but they kind of, I'm sure they wanted to get a couple of races in before, the Kentucky Oaks, so much so that she didn't even, she was on the also eligible for the Kentucky Oaks. She did run in the Ashland to kick off her 3-year-old season. She didn't really look ready to run. She got 4th, beaten 5 lengths. She came back and ran at Monmouth in the Ladies' Secret and looked very good. A strong effort. And then last time out, she was the second choice against Torpedo Anna in the Coaching Club American Oaks, where she was second, beaten 4 1/4. If you watch that race, she did try to make a move into Torpedo Anna and kind of not really making up ground, but kind of moving with her for a second there until she kind of got dusted. This is the spot, I would say, that was kind of custom made for a horse like Candied. I think a 1.25 miles will be good for this horse. I think she'll get pretty good positioning going this distance. And she just kind of seems like, okay, now we're in a perfect spot. We had to kind of was late to the party, didn't get her in the Kentucky Oaks, got that nice win at Monmouth, which was kind of just, okay, now we've really got our footing under her. Let's try these grade 1s at Saratoga. She ran a winning type of race last time out in the Coaching Club American Oaks, but she ran into a monster. I just think if she runs that race again, she's going to be tough. So look out for the number 7, Candied. And then finally, the number 8 on the list here is Neon Icon. And this is the horse Luis Saez is going to jump back on here. He rode, Luis Saez talking about, rode this horse the first 2 races of her career, which were 2 runaway wins. Broke the maiden at Keeneland, and then at a 1.25 miles in an off-the-turf event there at Churchill Downs, was able to get the job done by 5.5 in an allowance event. So has been this distance. That is the good news. And then last time out, Indiana Oaks tried to step up and take on Graded Stakes Company for the first time and was 5th, beaten 5 1/4. Didn't run very well. Didn't get out of the gate all that well and just kind of never looked real comfortable. So yeah, I don't know that you fully draw a line through it, but she does have a little bit of an excuse for running so poorly in her first start against Stakes Company. So Luis Saez getting aboard. I thought that was a very good sign that this horse might be ready to kind of bounce back from that. All right, that's the 8 in this race. I'm going to go number 7, Candied on top. And I kind of laid it out when I was talking about her individually. I just kind of feel like this is kind of the time. I really, last time out was the time as well. And she ran to that, thought. And, just could not beat Torpedo Anna, but she was well clear of the others for second. I think the pace set up with her stablemate being in this. I think Chatalas will go a little bit as well. America's Vow might run a little bit early as well. I think that will get enough pace for Candied to kind of sit in that 4th or 5th spot and then make the move. And stretching out to a 1.25 miles, usually those closers are a little bit closer, unless you're Sierra Leone, you're a little bit closer than what you usually are. And you kind of saw it last time out. She was only 4 lengths off the pace early in that race. So look, I think Candied will get a decent trip, get a decent setup. And I just think she's kind of the horse at the right time here for the Alabama. All right, that'll do it for a preview of the Grade 1 Alabama Stakes. Make sure to hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. Most importantly, go over to racingdudes.com for full coverage and for premium picks for every racetrack, every day running in the United States. All right, guys, thanks everybody for watching, and good luck if you're playing Saratoga on Saturday.